Belfast is the newest film from director Kenneth Branagh and is the movie that my grandmother is looking forward to the most at the end of the year. So Nana, if you're watching, this movie review is for you. I was lucky enough to see this film early and I'm gonna give you my quick thoughts right now. Hey everybody, my name is Brandon, aka the BrandoCritic. Thank you guys so much for being here. I'm sending you all positive vibes your way, and I'm gonna give you my honest, no BS take on Belfast and let you know if it's worth a watch. But if you guys are new here and you want to see more early movie reviews just like this, movie reactions and hangout live streams where we talk about movies, then this is the place for you. Consider hitting that like and subscribe button. I really do appreciate all the support, and make sure you go check out my partners at Movie Scene Canada as well. Their link will be down below in the description. So, we have Belfast from director Kenneth Branagh, and you know him from Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets as Gilderoy Lockhart, but behind the camera, you know him from Thor, Cinderella, the live action version, Artemis Fowl, yikes, and Murder on the Orient Express. And it stars Jamie Dornan, Judi Dench, Caitríona Balfe, Ciarán Hinds, and introducing the new young Jude Hill, his first feature-length appearance. And it's about a young boy living his childhood in Belfast, Northern Ireland in the 1960s, but he's living in a world that is ridden by conflict. He lives on a street where there's this gang war between Protestants and Catholics. But is this movie worth a watch? Yes. Absolutely. And I'm not just saying this to any Irish people out there. I'm saying this to anyone who likes good movies. This coming of age story should not be missed by anyone. Now, like I said earlier, my grandmother is Irish and a large part of my family is Irish. So on a personal level, I enjoyed watching this movie because I haven't been to Northern Ireland per se, but I've been to Cork, Ireland, and I've been to some other parts around the southern parts of the country. And, you know, I like seeing the Irish culture on screen. But why do I think that this movie is worth a watch for everyone? I love how this world is built because every single shot tells multiple stories in it. Now, when I was in film school and I was filming my final project, that was one thing that I needed to work on. And one of the film professors was like, Brandon, your shots don't have any vibrancy to them. You need to add layers. You need to have stories going on in the foreground, the background, the midground. And this movie is the ultimate textbook example of how to do that effectively, because you have our main character just walking to school, right? Like that's like the subject of the shot. That's what's really happening in the story. But to build the world around the character, you have in the foreground, you have some barbed wire where you're seeing the character walk through, and then in the background you have a helicopter with searchlights. So yes, this is telling us that kids are just going about their normal lives, but you have this chaos and this way of life going on around him that he might not be really aware of or fully understand it, but it's there. And every single shot, there's something happening in the background that tells a story, something that happens in the foreground that tells a story. And it just really creates this slice of life that is just so effective, because I feel like I've been to Belfast in the 1960s, even though I clearly haven't. Another reason is that I just love the characters. Literally, every single character in this movie I just completely adore. And I love how we hear many characters' names only through the ears of our main character, Buddy, the 10-year-old kid. Ma, Pa, Pop, Granny. I don't know their actual names. We just know them as Ma and Pa because we are along the ride with our main character who's only 10 years old. And speaking about our main character, played by Jude Hill, one of the best child performances I've ever seen. And I don't say that lightly. He is phenomenal in this movie. The real breakout star. He is going to go places. Because like there's one scene, and I knew that he was good in the movie. Like I was watching the movie and I'm like, okay, this kid is really great. But one scene in particular, and again, no major spoilers, but they're talking to him, the parents are talking to him and they're going like, well, how would you feel if we moved out of Belfast? You know, we can get a bigger house in say England, and we can get a garden, and you can play football and you can meet new friends. And then he starts just to freak out and go, I don't want to leave Belfast. I don't want to go. And I'm like, dude, that is incredible. That is absolutely incredible. It was completely mind-blowing how good of a performance that he gave. Like just, oh, wow. And my favorite relationship in the movie is between him and his grandfather. Like I never had really that relationship with my grandfathers growing up because both of them died when I was pretty young, but that relationship was just so charming. And I love how, you know, the grandfather will tell him, you know, if you're doing your math homework and you kind of like scribble a little bit, then you might not know if it's a 7 or a 2, and then you have a 60% chance of getting it right because they don't know. They might just give you the benefit of the doubt. So that will make you get an A in class, which means that you'll get to be sitting up at the front of the class next to the pretty girl. Also, hey, this is how you get the girl to like you. And it's just a great heartwarming relationship. And also Caitríona Balfe, she was phenomenal in this movie because she has such a dynamic, wide range of her character that she portrays, because, you know, she's struggling to raise a family and her husband is off working in England, and of course there's this social, political, religious problem in the streets, and they're behind on payments, but yet she still finds a way to be optimistic and still put on a brave face to be a mother for her children. She's a great character as well. Now, some people might take issue that the political aspects and the religious aspects are merely a backdrop for the story and they're not really fully explained or realized, but my argument to that is that we are following the story of a 10-year-old boy. I didn't know anything about social justice or politics or religion really when I was 10 years old, or what was really happening in society. You're just worried about getting the girl in class to like you, and of course, like I said earlier, when he's just walking into school and you have things going on in the background, we as an audience know what's happening in the world to a certain extent, but it's just how it affects this boy's life. And this movie has a message about what is home? What is our home? Now, again, not to get too personal, but there was a moment in my life, a brief moment in my life, where I'm like, maybe should I move to Buenos Aires, Argentina? But I couldn't do it because Vancouver, Canada is my home. I grew up here, I love it here, and it's just a part of who I am. Now, I didn't, you know, live in like this tyrannical government. I don't live in this situation where I have to leave, but some people will not leave a certain situation because that's their home. And even in this movie, they're saying, you know, I grew up here, I know the people here, I know the culture here, and yes, there are some hard times and there might be some easier times somewhere else, but it's not Belfast. And is home really with the certain people that you love? It's not a certain place. I love when they tackle subject matters like that. And overall, there really is little wrong with this movie, and overall I'm gonna give it a 4 out of 5 because I really enjoyed it. I don't think that there's that one standout moment to say like I loved this movie. Maybe if I was Northern Irish myself and I came from Belfast, then this movie might really speak to me. But from a Canadian guy who has a little bit of Irish culture, I really enjoyed this movie. And I think that even if you have no Irish culture in you, I think you'll like it too. So what about you guys? What did you guys think of Belfast? Let me know down in the comment section down below. And of course, hit like and subscribe if you want to. And if you made it to the end of the video, you guys are rock stars. See you next time.